Welcome back at Devopsdays Amsterdam online, where we had the pleasure of talking to a bunch of our speakers, attendees, and organizers just before the conference started. And we'll be sending them out to you now so that you can enjoy them as well. So Daniel is joining me here at the table today. Could you quickly introduce yourself?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm from Germany, where I work as a consultant mainly, sometimes also as an outsourced operator for a company called Netways. I do all kinds of cloud-native things, DevOps things, ranging from GitLab to observability issues to Kubernetes implementations, platform building. So yeah, that's my jam, more or less.
Very good. And you're up for an Ignite today. Well, I mean, when we're releasing this little video, your Ignite is up in just a couple of minutes, actually. So do you want to talk us through what the Ignite is about, maybe?
Yeah, sure. So I start with a not-so-witty pun on a song by Rihanna called SOS, Please Someone Help Me. And yeah, it will be about SOS, which is short for Shiny Object Syndrome, which is, I think, a big thing in DevOps and cloud-native technology, because the available choices whenever you do something, when you start a new project, is so broad. Like, many people know this meme with the CNCF landscape, for example, which is just so huge. And whenever you start a new project with a new client, with new prerequisites you need to match, and so on, the search for the perfect tooling, for the perfect tech stack starts from scratch. And yeah, keeping up with all the marketing getting thrown at you at conferences and finding this balance when choosing the right tools for the right clients and projects is hard. And I tend to get way too much into experimenting and trying out new stuff without getting anywhere. So I thought, why not do an Ignite on that topic? Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a problem many of us recognize. I wonder, is it a medically, is it an official term for this condition?
Actually, if I'm totally honest, I got no idea. I just looked up the definition on Wikipedia really quick to throw it on my slides. But I can imagine it can lead to actual medical conditions. Like, I can feel or I can see how some people might, for example, burn out over this. Just a constant stream of new tools they feel like they need to adopt or need to look into, and not being able to make this decision. Or just focus on the things which are important for them at the moment. So I think we should acknowledge it, that it is a real thing, maybe if not a medical thing, a cultural thing.
Yeah. Do you, in your Ignite, present any mitigations to make sure that you don't fall for that trap of trying the new hottest thing over and over again?
Yes and no. So I wouldn't call it mitigations, because I'm also still quite new in my job. So I will present the things that work for me. And I'll end the talk with like what worked out for me. So I will share 3 to 4 points and strategies, just like rules I try to stick to. Some of them might be quite obvious, I feel like it, or at least if you got the experience already and have been in the field for a bit longer, know all the war stories. But as someone who's still new to the whole ecosystem, I just started with Cloud Native a bit over a year ago, 18 months or so.
Yeah.
I think some of those points might hit home, yeah.
What has been the latest shiny object that you've been chasing?
Ooh, that's interesting. I can't come up with a name right now, but it's a new way to package Kubernetes deployments by, what's his name? Stefan Prodan, I think, from, is it Weaveworks? Who said, like, Helm is not the best way to do it. And there's a new thing called, I can't come up with
XYZ.
Yeah,
yes.
XYZ.
Yeah.
And it's based on Qlang. So it's very much focusing on strict definitions of how you should package your deployments and stuff like that. I like that. And now I hope I got that right now.
So now everyone tuning in should check out that tool instead of
I don't
Helm,
know.
or
yeah, I don't know. Maybe for some people it might be useful. It's still
depends.
shiny, as in I haven't even looked at it now. It's on my bookmark list on my stack to do. Yeah.
Oh gosh, what does your bookmark list look like? Is
it's
many
actually,
of those things?
It's quite organized these days.
Oh.
I found my stack I enjoy working with. So for me, at least, the mitigation steps seem to work at some point. But there's always interesting tooling out there, right? So yeah, and further advancements and stuff like that. So it's okay. It's manageable. Let's say it like this.
When you're talking through some of those stack choices with other people, and they mention a new tool and you say shiny object syndrome. How do people typically respond to that? Are they like, oh yeah, no, I get that, or
you mean in regard to why I'm suffering from it, if they understand the problem it has,
or if they're, you're talking through some of the choices that are there and they're mentioning a new tool and you're like, tiny little eye roll, like,
okay,
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, I understand the fascination, and to maybe spoil my own Ignite a bit, that's exactly what I'm ending with, that we shouldn't shut down our curiosity, because it's a good thing. After all, we need to adapt with new and up-and-coming technology and new approaches to difficult problems. But yeah, it's all about finding that balance, right? Why differ from established tooling if it works out, if your staff is already trained on it, if they know how to use it, and just bring in something new because there has been another marketing guy or pre-sales meeting with one of the executives, so to say, to make it really basic.
Or definitely, like you sort of alluded to, KubeCon has taken place. Yes. You've been to some booths and then you get all of these emails. So
all the leads and follow-ups. Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah, those are great fun.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool. So I don't want to spoil any of your Ignite, but do you, whenever you're trying out a new tool, do you like kind of time box how much time you want to be spending on just trying something out?
That would be a great idea. Maybe I should add that to the
Oh my gosh.
But,
so the Ignite might still be changed after this conversation.
I don't think so, because the slides are already sent off. But yeah, that's not the approach I take. I went to a more like a pragmatic approach where I define the goals the tool have to match or be able to solve in a way that makes sense. And then I just do a proof of concept for this one task at hand. Because as a consultant, I work in different projects, and prerequisites and the problems at hand will differ in a very large variety of depending on the client's project, of course. So it makes not that much sense to think of the tech stack I have in mind and try to implement it everywhere and bring it in a condition where I can use it and apply it. So I would really focus on the problems at hand and look at tools and like, does this work? No. Next one. Does this work? No. This one works, but it doesn't feel right. And then I find the match. So it's not the time boxing issue. It's more like a checklist of requirements it has to meet. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's more of a personal coping mechanism. I can go down rabbit holes and inside tangents, and I need to, when I'm aware of that's happening, I need to sort of like time box myself in order to not get lost in all that is available for me. Okay, very cool. So the Ignite format, have you ever done it?
I did it once, at a conference called OSMC, Open Source Monitoring Conference. It's organized by my employer, so I had my first trials there, so to say. Yeah. I didn't Ignite there about Acorn, so that's developer tooling as well. Also focusing on bringing applications to Kubernetes in a more easier way for developers especially. So that was a fun experience. I think I got some takeaways and feedback I tried to implement now. I still feel I'm far away from like perfect Ignite, if such a thing exists. Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to see how I improve now compared to last time.
Yeah, I think Ignites are a really interesting and fun format, and either you do like perfect from beginning to end and then it's a fantastic Ignite, or you get sort of lost in the slides and then it's also perfect because the audience is very forgiving. It's a very brutal format, right? Like 5 minutes, so many slides, auto advancing, and so if you get stuck somewhere, like I am absolutely incapable of doing Ignites because I will get stuck in some side tangent because that's what's happening in my head, and so it is a challenging format, but I think it's a fantastic one as well.
But I enjoy those Ignites as well, like where you see the speaker going, you know what, I abandoned my slides completely now because I had this one side thought and I walked down the rabbit hole for the next 3 minutes, and then I'm like, thank you, that was my stream of consciousness.
Exactly. So everyone is on that journey with you at that point in time, so they they can't go anywhere. So.
And I feel like the audience appreciates this, and they feel it. They know that it's hard to do, so that takes away lots of the pressure. So basically, all the pressure I feel comes from myself and my own expectations, so to say. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of submissions this year for Ignites,
Yeah.
which makes me very happy because it's absolutely a fun format, and
Yeah.
that people are excited about it is, of course, a wonderful thing. All right, well, I want to wish you all good luck with
Thank you
the
very much.
Ignites that is happening in the future now, but then, you know, like when
Right
it's released,
now,
almost,
after this,
almost
yeah.
now. I love this. It's like almost like time zones that are difficult, but then differently. And thank you so much for, you know, joining
Yeah.
me at the table and having a
Thank you
wonderful
for having me.
conversation.
It was a nice experience.
Great. Thank you.